Go round to rise, say, Mama Seta, Ashudu, Ashute, Ashu on vibrations every bucka. May your mind, buckas, and souls be old. May your omits be sound. May your buckas be leaven off ground. When we keep to the breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul of rock guides and keeps you old. Ayanma, Elai. Say El, say I. Christ or a chaplain. Tata, Amen Ra. I am our truth awareness, true talk. Come be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma Elf, that's intelligence, knowledge, to Ungodu. This is sound logic. And with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice. To Ray is Ray 1868. This is the Crypto Shit Shower update, where we remind you that the blockchain is not a financial umbrella that you can hold and prevent shit from head. As we saw in our quick peek, looks like the market is back up. We're going to look at the Mathorian Kagadora and continue to increase our almond standing of motion and the markets and expectations and how we call their shots. Okay? 1868. So if 1 and 8 equals 9, 6 and 8 equals 14, 1 and 4 equals 5, where is Bitcoin heading to energetically? I'm not talking what the news and the markets and the influencers and the system wants you to believe. Okay? Where are we energetically going? Where are we now? What level are we standing on? Okay? What step are we standing on? And if we understand that this is part of the parasite system, that means it is energetically and in a lot of cases biologically attached to us. So wherever we are, it has to be. And a parasite's duty, its only directive, is to manipulate you, remove you from your sound, to mute you. When you are muted, you can't communicate. So this means that you would need an augmentation, another way of communicating. So if you're mute, your immediately brain should go to your mouth, okay? Because a mute can't speak. You understand? So how would a mute communicate if he couldn't speak? He would need what? Sign language. And what is sign language? Sign language is a language that communicates purely by your eyesight. You are communicating through your eyes, not your senses. So what I'm trying to get you all to realize is that this devil draconian has people that are in their healthy senses practicing sign language. We are all practicing fucking sign language. We're all deaf mutes. Okay? We're all deaf mutes. All right? This is just facts, people. All right? Facts. Teray is 5 on gematria. So what is 5? 5 is head, arm, leg, arm. Okay? It's a personification. Yesterday it was Ra. It was the radiation. Okay, it was broadcasting the message. Yesterday on 1867, Donald Trump again made more announcements, okay, about the pending war. You understand that? Okay, so we are moving into what? A wartime market. What did I warn you of 60 days ago? Okay, so unfortunately, when we are in a wartime market on the blood of people, this is when Draco pushes money into the markets to do their money laundering and everything else that they do. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to catch a little bit of interest on our investments so that we can lily pad out of this fucking vacuum. All right? We're getting payback. See, these parasites were able to build their system on our backs, and now they want to offer us a deal where we have permission to operate ourselves. Okay? So I personally say no to that deal. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to utilize the system that they created from our system to get back to my system, which is a sound system. Seandu. I'm a Seon. Okay? I come from the Seon. So I'm a Seon. Okay? I'm not a sun. Okay? I'm a Seon. Okay? And you are too. All right? So today has to get up to 95, but it's a 5. We're getting close to 6. We're only 4 days away from 9. Okay? So we know 7, 8, and 9, we're going to see a top and the bottom. Okay, so what I mean is wherever this fucking thing is going, by 9 and definitely by 1, we're going to definitely see some take back. Okay, we're going to see some take back. Never expect it to be only up and you know, it never happens that way. Okay, even when it's going sideways, that means they're skimming. Just as much as coming in is going out. Okay? You got that. All right. So we're going to be hoping that it makes it up to 95. Okay. And then by tomorrow, it has to reach 96. Okay. Which is Wednesday. And so we know Wednesday, they like to do their midweek reversals. Well, yes, last week we had a little bit of a carry on. Okay. Because they gutted things prior to that point. They had to use the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to make up something to take back, which they showed you yesterday and Sunday. Okay, let's go to the charts. So as you can see we're on the daily now. Okay, this was yesterday. Okay, this was their 1867 when they had all these bullshit announcements. Okay, and today is when they rise through their ashes. Okay, so a new cycle has begun today. Okay, or yesterday. Okay, we knew this well in advance, people. Nobody who's listening should be caught. Everybody should be just sitting back and just watching the motion. Okay, getting prepared to take profits. Okay, not being fooled by any of this motion. Okay, this is just re-engagement. Okay? Bitcoin has to stay within the 90s. The minute it gets above 100, now it has to meet a different level. Okay, I was trying to show you. Let me go back into the Kagedora. Okay, so you have 1868. So this represents the days that have transpired, have passed on solar cycle 25. Okay, we've experienced 1,868 rays/days. Okay? Less days, actually. Okay? You guys are still fucking way behind. Okay? But whatever. So, Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is attached, because the Draconians are acting as authority, they have to produce. Okay, so I've established for every day is $1,000. Okay, because they've established in the Bible when they told you that every one of our days is 1,000 of God's days. Okay, so I know God doesn't fucking exist outside of the words we use. Okay, so I'm putting his words he used to what it is which is the money. Okay, this is the bullshit fiat. You understand the math that I am doing in the ethers, people. None of this stuff is just pulling shit out of... Well, it is pulling it out of the ether, but it's very, very mathematical. And the true math works with sound, not symbols. I don't know what world you guys accepted this bullshit. Math has to do with numbers? Like, what the F? Okay? So on the theory that every fucking day is $1,000, this needs to be 186,000 fucking dollars. That's the value of Bitcoin. Okay, that's the value it needs to be to operate as God. Okay, you got this, people. Okay, or if it can't make the $100 and something thousand, which it still needs to, I've given it the permission to meet the reduced numbers. So this means we reduce the 1 and an 8 to 9 and the 6 and an 8 to 5. So instead of 1868 Bitcoin it has to be 95. Now, if Bitcoin were to drop down to the tens, then its expectation would only be $1,868. Okay, or maybe $18,680. You got that, people? As it goes down, the zeros goes down. As it goes up, the zeros go up. The Kagadora is giving Bitcoin expectations to meet based on awareness now. We know it's attached to our body because we are voluntarily involved in this. We are now wanting this to take care of us. Remember, we've come from a place where we have it all. Okay, I'm putting us back there energetically. Okay, so now we are picking this thing up like it's a pet. Okay, like it's a pet. We're walking through the forest and we found an animal that just keeps fucking following us. So we're negotiating with it now. How and why does it need to be with me? What benefit is this going to be with me? Oh, okay. It says now I'm going to turn your 1 seed into 10 seeds. Okay, I'm just talking stewardship language here. Okay, let's go back to the money talk. I'm going to turn $1 into $10. Okay, so this is the expectation of my pet. Okay, of my pet, which is the blockchain now. Okay, it's going to turn my money into more money. You got that? Okay? And so in order to do that, I have to have expectations. I'm not just going to accept anything. I want expectations. So I set the expectations. Do you see what the true Ma N S Se Ta On Shu? That is manifestation in Ta'angodu. Okay, because manifestation means you Ma, so that's the process, right? Ma, and then you have Nes, okay, which is negate, and then you say, then you have Feld, then you have say, then you have Ta, and then you have On, which is life. Okay, so instead of going to Ma to gather information, to further your Ta, you're actually going to Ma to gather information to fell your Ta. Okay, so that's why you guys got to get to Jesus.com, sign up, get the solarization decoding. Get access to directionary.com. We got the decoding cards happening there because you definitely know the words in the dictionary die your erection, right? That's why we got the Ta'angodu language, because we're speaking motion. All right, so don't forget, I don't consent to draconian state. Hashtag that in your post. Thought is a spore that spawns intelligence. Then a fungi.org. Your mental health is definitely attached to your etheric compass. So you got to reorientate yourself to sound. That's Jesus.com. When you get there, you get access to the Mythorian Kagadora file. You can print it. You can display it. You go to Amonra.com. You can download, order it to get it delivered to your door. You got the apparel. Got to wear with the Devil's Fair, peeps. You also got the books. All right. So now, the expectations we got is 95,000. Okay. This is where Bitcoin has to go today. All right. And once it reaches 95,000, this is when I would start thinking about selling. Because why? Because it has gotten out of this range. Once it's gotten out of this range, 95,000 becomes support. Okay, I've put this thing on $10,000 steps. Each step takes $10,000 to get to the new one. I established this based on what I have